So yeah, we were going to talk about XFL, right?
Yeah, it was the first week of the XFL. We're actually on week 2 now. There was a Thursday night game. I think Seattle lost to St. Louis.
Hmm.
So, man, it's a really cool league. I like it a lot. I think The Rock and Dana White. I think they've man, they've developed a cool program. I know they have partnerships with the CFL, the Canadian Football League, and
Yeah.
the NFL. Nothing as far as like an actual official minor league or anything like that,
Hmm.
but they've some of their rules and their policies that they put into place are to work in partnership with the NFL and with the CFL, which I think is really cool. So, um, San Antonio lost, man. They were up the whole game, and then last minute and a half, St. Louis came back. They scored, I believe, 17 or 18 points, and they beat San Antonio in the last minute and a half. So it
I did see
was hard.
that. I did see that that made the
It was
headlines.
heartbreaking, man.
Yeah, right.
They
I mean,
looked
being the first game and all.
they looked so good, and then there were 25,000 people there. San Antonio had twice as many fans as any other team had for their opening week at the stadium.
I feel like San Antonio is going to show up to any game period because like it's San Antonio, right? They just want to go out, see their teams play. They want to drink. They want to have a good time.
And they've been craving an NFL team since they built the Alamo Dome, so
It's not an NFL team though.
it's not, but it's still an exciting league. It's
Yeah.
new. There's some cool ideas. There's some cool rules that are in there that honestly I wish the NFL would adapt into its league.
So let's back that a little bit
Hmm.
because for those who don't know, and I'm going to throw myself in this mix because to your knowledge, how far has it been since, how long has it been since the XFL was established? And not even talking about like, oh, we have The Rock and Dana White now collaborating, right? Teaming up to make the XFL great again or great, period, because
Yeah,
it's never been great, right? It's always kind of been like, oh, startup, oh, stopped it.
yeah.
So when did the XFL get established?
This is the third iteration of the XFL, so I think it started back in the '90s or early 2000s when Vince McMahon created the XFL, and he did it as the Extreme Football League. Basically, what he advertised it as was like, remember the Nintendo 64, the Blitz football?
I was so good at that game.
Yeah, so
I don't know
basically,
why, for
dude,
no
that
reason.
game was so badass. They need to bring that back, man.
It's in the arcades.
No, I mean like current gen
Oh
PS5,
no, no,
Xbox. What
no.
Xbox are they on? The Xbox
That game
One, I
was so
think.
unrealistic.
That doesn't need to be realistic.
You would
It's
tackle
fun.
somebody from like 15 yards away.
Man, shit's cool though. But anyways, so originally that's kind of what it was modeled after, just a brutal, no rules type of football league. Because, Vince McMahon owning, WWE, even though WWE is scripted, it's wrestling, it's beating each other up with folding chairs, beating each other up.
It's entertainment.
Yeah, it's entertainment, and that's what he wanted the XFL to be. So it folded. I don't know exactly how many years it made it the first time around, and then it came back just before COVID, so 2018 or 2019. They went through a full season, and they were competing with the AFL or whatever that other football league. It didn't even make it through a full football season. San Antonio had a team there too, and they had a huge response from the San Antonio fan base. But like I said, they didn't even make it a whole season. Anyways, XFL did make it a whole season, and then afterwards it folded. Um, Apparently, Vince McMahon dumped $300 million into it, and COVID kind of killed it. And The Rock bought it in 2021, I want to say, and Dana White bought it in 2021 for $15 million,
Jesus.
which is a steal for them, right? That's probably
Talk
pocket
about buying
change.
and buying in the bottom,
That's
bro.
probably pocket
Man.
change for them,
I
man.
mean, they could just flip it at this point if they
Yeah,
wanted,
and I
right?
think shit, probably at this point they might have already. Who knows? Um, so yeah, first season back, they got Hines Ward as the head coach for San Antonio. He's an NFL legend. Wade Phillips is the head coach for Houston. He's really good, well established head coach from the NFL that coached for the Dallas Cowboys and Houston Texans.
We know who Wade Phillips is. How big is the fan base right now for the XFL?
I am very interested.
Yeah. Do you think that, and this just crossed my mind right now, because obviously The Rock and Dana White are doing their best to not only promote the XFL, but they want to sell these seats, right?
Hmm.
They don't want empty arenas. So do you think that maybe they're filling a lot of these seats unorganically.
Describe unorganically.
Like they're basically paying to have those seats filled because they don't want to make it look like, oh, no one's showing up to these games.
So, yes and no, because actually here in San Antonio, they were offering a deal. And this wasn't for the season tickets, but this was for the single game tickets where they were selling buy one get one free tickets. So, like I said, they only sell the lower bowls. So, you pay for a $27 ticket, you get another $27 ticket for free. So you pay
Yeah.
$48. That's 4 people right there.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, my math is terrible. $54. You pay
Your public
$54.
math isn't so good.
You know what? I'm usually good at math, but
It's okay. We can edit this and just you
no,
got it right the
no,
first
we
time.
don't need to edit this. I corrected myself instantly.
No,
so
we don't need to.
I
We're upset.
I think I'm great at math. Thank you very much.
So man, so these tickets are cheap right now, right? Because I mean, you don't want to make them too expensive.
And these aren't the 50-yard line tickets. These are the
Yeah.
ones that are behind the end zones, or that are the nosebleeds of the lower bowls. So I mean, they're still good seats, but they're not the best seats that you can buy. If you want the 50-yard line, 5 rows from the sidelines, you're going to be paying $100 a ticket, $150 a ticket.
Which honestly is still not bad considering
compared to the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, compared to NFL, you're not going to get cheap tickets at all. It's going to be hella packed. Like, there's no empty seats.
I think
right?
it being a new league, that's kind of excessive.
No, absolutely.
So per game, the average viewership on week 1 was 1.19 million. So 4 games, 1.19 million. Let's just do 1.2 so I don't fuck up on my math again. That's 4.8 million. That viewed the games on TV, plus the 36,000 plus 25. So we're looking at about 60,000 in attendance. So 4.8 million plus 60,000. So over 5 million, week 1 that showed up to watch these games. It's not bad. It's not bad for, an unofficial league that's not associated with the NFL or with any of the big 5, right? So.
And that's the thing too, that I feel like there are a lot of people that don't really know like how the XFL compares to the NFL, right?
Yeah.
Like one of the things that we talked about, I know, was the 3-point rule, which is really cool. That it's not so much like, oh yeah, kick the extra point and you're good, or try to go for a 2-point conversion, right? Like it is in the NFL. Here you have the option of getting an extra point, which is not in the form of a kick, right? 2 points, which you'll have to start from the 5-yard goal line. And then the extra 3-point, which is
from the 10.
Right. From the 10-yard line, which is only an option if you're in the XFL.
Yeah.
NFL does not offer an option to get a 3-point conversion.
Which is really cool because if you think about it, the XFL is a lot of the people that were undrafted free agents that were eligible for draft in the NFL and that didn't get a chance to make it, or people that were on the practice squad and cut, or those who were like Ben DiNucci for Seattle Sea Dragons. He was a 3rd-string quarterback in Dallas with the Cowboys on their active roster for 1 or 2 years, and he ended up getting cut, and now he's having another chance in the XFL to prove his worth and maybe get back to the NFL. So, I mean, these extra point rules are really cool because you could be down 10 or you could be down 9 points. Math again. You could be down 9 points and you can catch up in one drive. You can get 9 points in one drive if you really wanted to.
Hence that comeback game with San Antonio,
exactly.
Right? So the other thing is, and that's really awesome because I know that they're trying to pitch it as like, well, more football time for the fan, right? Versus like, oh, we're just watching football based on its rules and regulations and watching a lot of time being killed just to win a game, which we've seen happen over and over again in the NFL, right? Strategic ways to run the clock.
Yeah.
Which is not fun to watch. It becomes boring. You're watching your team lose. It's like,
if you're down 2 scores, the whole 4th quarter is a fucking drag,
Yeah.
And the XFL kind of has that college element where anything could happen. You're still down 21, but you can come back in the 4th and win. And
that's exciting.
It is. It keeps you engaged, even if it looks like it may be a blowout. It's not. You're only 1 or 2 drives behind versus being 2, 3, 4 drives behind in the NFL and just having the clock run out on you. So it's exciting shit, and it's not the only rule that's exclusive to the XFL. They have other rules too. The onside kick rule is really cool. In the NFL, it has to go 10 yards. once it passes it, or somebody on the receiving team has to touch it before the kicking team has a chance to get a shot at the ball. In the XFL, you can do that. You can kick the onside kick, with those same rules, or you can go for a fourth down conversion on a 4th and 15 at your own 25-yard line. So that's really cool because you have an option of how to get the ball back. In St. Louis, when they were playing San Antonio on that drive that they're trying to come back, that's what they did. They went for 4th and 15 from their own 25-yard line with a minute and a half left on the clock. After, or not even a minute and a half left on the clock. It was after they scored that first touchdown. So they went for the 4th and 15. They got it. They drove the ball down the field. They scored another touchdown. They went up by, I believe it was 21-20. And San Antonio got the ball back with 6 seconds, and there's nothing they could do with it. So it's exciting. It affords other opportunities to get the ball back in your hands and to get game-winning drives.
Yeah.
And I think these are some rules that the NFL can adapt to, just to add to the excitement of the NFL.